Japanese officers gagged the man with a stopper and tied him up with rope. Then, he ordered his men to bring the man's wife into the room to humiliate her. Seeing this, the man's heart was torn apart. After 3 seconds, the officer walked out of the room. Tears of humiliation streamed down the man's face. The soldiers mocked the man's helplessness. Then he also rushed into the room. He finished in 2 seconds. After it ended, the officer ordered the man's wife to be released. She walked out of the room numb, looked at her husband one last time, and jumped from upstairs. The man stared in shock with wide eyes. The colonel cut the ropes and smiled wickedly. The man frantically ran downstairs, but everything was too late. His wife had already stopped breathing. The man swept his hateful gaze over all his enemies' faces. He resolved to take revenge. He found the traitor like dancing on manhole covers after drinking, so he drew a picture of a sewer manhole cover. Then he asked a friend to buy steel nails for him and nailed them to a board as ground spikes. That night, they replaced the manhole cover with a paper one and sprinkled sand on it. That very night, the traitor walked over the trap and fell straight in. Steel nails pierced his body. Then they swapped the iron manhole cover back. The traitor vanished from the world. Next was the Japanese officer. He came to watch the funeral of the man's wife. The man had anticipated he would come. He sent assassins to fire shots suddenly. The officer fled immediately. He escaped to the rooftop, but the rooftop had been covered in oil beforehand. The officer slipped underfoot and heavily fell to the ground from the roof. Waiting for him below was a fierce dog that hadn't eaten for a month. The colonel knew this was all the man's scheme. He guarded against the man daily, yet the man came to him actively and confessed his crimes to the colonel. Then, he walked towards a water pool. He requested to drown himself. The colonel granted his wish. He locked the man in an iron cage and slowly lowered him into the water. The man pulled out a prepared piece of iron and cut the rope. Meanwhile, the colonel smelled something strange. Suddenly, seeing the explosion end, the man surfaced. This story tells us, never bully an honest man and never hurt his wife.